The Ministry of Finance in Japan appears to be moving closer to taking intervention. Where are we when it comes to this conversation?
Well, we're definitely a step closer. There's no doubt about it. Need to be much more on alert. However, whether intervention will actually take place is far from clear. First of all, let's look at the language that was used yesterday. We had a three-way meeting between the Finance Ministry, the BOJ and the FSA. That's used to flag concern. They said, you mentioned the fundamentals being out of whack. They said moves were clearly excessive, one-sided. There were some speculative moves in the background. All of this is ramped up language, all options open. That's a clear hint. So they've really ramped up the language. However, I think one of the key expressions used yesterday that we need to look at was the moves on September the 6th and 7th were particularly flagged in that meeting. And if you look at the moves on Tuesday, Wednesday, I mean, the dollar-yen moved about 4.5 yen. So if we see another slide of that kind of speed, then we need to be alert to possible moves by the authorities here. But if we see a grind lower that's in line with rate differentials, I think they're going to stand firm and watch and not do anything. There's risk involved if they intervene. If it goes wrong, they don't turn the tide, then speculators could then have all bets on. It could be very messy. They've also got a limited number of reserves they can use to fight it. When it's helping against a strong yen, it's easier. There's kind of no limit on what they can do. But when you're propping up the yen, you've only got your FX reserves. Also, no US backing. The Treasury in the US backed up their view that, hey, only exceptional circumstances, no way. So no green light from the US. One final point is the last time that Japan intervened to prop up the yen is back in 1998. It tried numerous times and it wasn't working. In the end, it took US to join them to stem the tide.
So what does this mean then? If intervention doesn't look likely, given all of the reasons that you've put forward, does it mean that we could see a change coming from the BOJ? I've heard a lot of people talk about a tweak to the yield curve control policy that they have in place.
Well, in some respects, the easiest way of sorting this out would be for the BOJ to change policy. And that's a point made in our interview with former chief economist Hideo Hayakawa that you can read on the terminal. That's out this morning. However, BOJ Governor Kuroda is standing firm. He says, hey, look, FX has got nothing to do with me. It's the finance ministry. He is determined to get his stable inflation after his decade-long pursuit of that goal. He's leaving his post next year. So at the moment, everyone thinks he's going to stand firm on that. So it would really take government pressure against that stance to really nudge the BOJ to move.